Here it
all
is.
those guys.
Here it is. Houston is taking Cam Whitmore.
Yeah, I mean, that makes all the sense in the world for the reasons. So Cam Whitmore is a guy that for a minute Houston was considering at number 4. And
wow.
I think that if it wasn't for these medical question marks that we have talked about previously, somewhere around the 11th overall pick, Cam Whitmore would have had a shot to go there at the end of the day. I would imagine that they still probably would have defaulted to Cam, but it would have been a little bit more of a conversation, I think. The fact that he fell to 20 is bonkers. This to me is Michael Porter Jr. written all over again. This is a player that is going to be extremely valuable for the Houston Rockets moving forward. He is one of the best athletes in the NBA from day one. They got 2 of the top, Adam? 15 best athletes in the NBA in this draft?
Probably
at 4
so.
and 20?
Yeah, probably so.
In terms of like the level to which the Houston Rockets front office is going to be like drinking themselves into a coma in celebration tonight is staggering. The amount of yeah, they're going to be so happy. Adam, I've talked a lot about Cam Whitmore at this point, his physical traits, his shot making ability. I think he's like a good on ball defender, even like he's willing to fight and scratch and claw, and he's switchable and he's strong. Like, this is a no brainer. This is a no goddamn brainer.
Amen. Jalen Green, Cam Whitmore, Tari Eason as athletes. Forget about it. Like that's a lot to work with from Houston and to continue to develop. They got to get all the pieces to fit together in the half court. You know, I've coached against Cam Whitmore twice a year ago. I'm coaching the same league that he played high school in. I've known him a little bit, not very well, but I've known him a little bit. He's a more quiet and reserved guy. He doesn't have that, you know, bright popping personality that I think is really engaging to teams through the interview process here. But a hell of an athlete. And I always tell this story. They played at our gym one time his senior year. And before our games, we tend to sit behind our bench during the JV game. And guys on the opposing teams will sit behind their bench. Well, we were having a team meeting in the locker room at the start of the JV game. So when Archbishop Spalding, his high school, came in, they didn't know which side of the bleachers to sit in. They ended up sitting behind our bench. And after we kind of came up and asked them to move over to the other side, and they did, a bunch of their players on their team left some food wrappers and things behind. And Cam saw that and what was going on and saw me walking up to that area and, you know, seeing all the food and the debris left behind. And he told his teammates to turn around and go pick that stuff up. And that stuck with me for a long period of time, particularly in thinking about the difference between being a emotionally intelligent or mature young man and having a bright, engaging personality. I don't think that always being the most type A human being means that you're that's the only way to lead. That's the only way to be a positive presence in a locker room in a lot of ways. That always stuck out to me with Cam in a lot of different ways. I can talk about the upside athletically, the development of his shot over the last 18 months, which has been really, really strong and solid across different levels. The confidence with the ball in his hands to plow through people. He's got some things to fix. He needs to be quicker as a decision maker off the catch. He needs to avoid tunnel vision. I think he's not great as a pull-up scorer in the mid-range right now. Step backs are the only thing he can get to going to his left. And he's not ready to be an off-ball defender in the NBA right now. There's a lot to clean up. But he's starting from such a different spot athletically.
So this person who has a symbols name, I apologize if that's a different language that I don't know, but I think it's symbols, asks if I'm going to leak the medical issues for Whitmore. I'm not. I don't feel comfortable doing so. Frankly, like I've heard a couple of different things to where I don't feel comfortable doing so. Just to say, I think it was a factor. I'm not going to sit here and say it's, I will say it was a factor of probably, I'll say it was a factor. Let's go with, and I'll leave it at that.
Sure.
That's what I feel comfortable saying. But I'm not going to say what it was, frankly, because I've gotten a few different things in terms of what it was, what the concerning things are. Okay. Cam Whitmore for me is by far the best value pick of the draft. Like my favorite pick of the draft is, you know, Victor Wembanyama going 1 and then Scoot Henderson going 3. But, you know, this is probably 3 for me, maybe 4 behind Amen Thompson. Like this is unbelievable value, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah. Unbelievable value. How bad should Brad Underwood feel about letting Brandon Pajemski go? I mean, uh, silly, I think, but I don't know. Maybe look, I think that players often find homes nowadays in different places, and that's the most important thing is that they find where they are best at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Go where you're wanted, kids. Go where you're wanted.
Totally. That's absolutely right. Go where you are going to have the best level of success. So someone in the YouTube comments does bring up this, which is public, and I don't really have a problem talking about it. This is about Cam. I heard he broke his leg twice in the same year. As a freshman in high school, he did break his leg. Yeah. I believe he may have broken, I want to say tibia is the box that's sticking for me. But yeah, that is public information, and that is an accurate thing that is in the draft guide that I wrote.
Yeah. Leg fracture freshman year, turned ankle and missed about 6 weeks senior year, thumb injury this past year. That's the extent of the history that I have.